everybody, and welcome back to another tutorial. It is currently in the middle of the night and I saw these little guys on a TikTok and I was like, oh my god, I need to make them now! Let's not waste any time. Let's get into making these little rats. Alrighty, my friends. So these are going to be the materials that you will need to make these rats. I'm just going to be making a basic gray one for the tutorial. You're going to need about 32 inches of a non-stretch string, 7 pink beads, 29 gray beads, and 2 black beads. These can be swapped interchangeable with any color, but if you're following along with me, this is what you're going to need. In total, you'll need 38 pony beads. For my non-stretch string for the tutorial today, I am going to be using a ribbon, just because this part here, we are going to have to weave the string through 4 times. So this string that I used here was really thick and really hard to get through here 4 times. So I don't feel like doing that for the tutorial, even though this holds its shape a lot better than the ribbon. But for the ease of the tutorial, I'm going to be using ribbon. I do not recommend using an elastic stretch string. However, if that's all you have and you're really passionate about making it, use it. Just know that they curl in on themselves, and it's not you, it's just the string. So if you are going to be using an elastic stretch string, I highly recommend a cloth, and you don't pull too tight. So just pull like a medium tug as you follow along with me. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. With my string measured out, I am going to fold my string in half just like this. On one end of my string, it does not matter. I'm going to be adding 1 pink bead to the side of the string. On the other side, I'm going to be adding 2 gray beads. You should look something like this. I am now going to take the side of my string that has the 1 pink bead, and I'm going to take that string and I'm going to weave it into my 2 gray beads here. Direction is important. We want to figure out what side of the string is sticking out of our 2 gray beads. So for me, it's sticking out of this side. So I'm going to be taking my string and I'm going to weave it through the side where the string is sticking out of. So I'm going to be weaving in this direction, not this direction. And I'll be weaving it through both of those beads. And I'm going to pinch and hold these 2 so they stay even, and then I'm going to pull these down. I am now going to, on one side of my string, it does not matter, I'm going to add an eye bead, one of my body color beads, so for me that's gray, and my last eye bead. I'm going to take the other side of my string and I'm going to weave it in to these 3 beads going in the direction where the string is sticking out of. So I'm going to be weaving in this direction because my string is sticking out of here. And I'm going to pull. So now on one side of my string, again, also does not matter, I'm going to be adding 3 beads, my body color beads, so for me that's gray. And I'm going to take the other side of my string and I'm going to weave it into those 3 beads. Again, we're going to be weaving on the side that the string is sticking out of. And we are going to pull. Okay, so here's where it might get a little bit tricky. We're going to be adding on the ears. So taking your string and a single bead, again, it does not matter which side you go on, I'm going to add 1 bead down one side of my string. I am then going to take my string and I'm going to weave it back through the 3 beads we just added. So I'm not going to weave through this bead, which is going to be our ear bead. I'm going to weave it through these 3 beads here. And I'm going to pull. Now I'm going to take the other side of my string and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to add 1 bead on and I'm going to weave it into these 3 beads. So I'm not going to be weaving it through this bead or this bead, just these 3. Okay, That took a while. And now I'm gonna pull everything together. These beads got a little loose over here, so I'm gonna try to make sure I pull these all tight again. And now I have my little ears on the side. I am now going to add 2 gray beads on one side of my string. It does not matter. I'm gonna take the other side of my string and I'm going to weave it into these 2 beads, weaving on the side that the string is sticking out of. And pull. I am going to take my 3 gray beads, place it down one side of the string. It does not matter. And I'm going to weave it into these 3 beads where the string is sticking out of. And I'm going to pull. I'm going to take 4 gray beads, place them down one side of my string. It does not matter. And I'm going to take the other side of my string and I'm going to weave it into these 4 beads on the side that the string is sticking out of. And I'm going to pull. I'm going to take 5 gray beads, place them on one side of my string. It does not matter. I'm going to take the other side of my string, weave it into those 5 beads that we just placed on, weaving it through the side where the string is sticking out of. And pull. I'm going to add 4 gray beads down one side of my string. It does not matter. And I'm going to take the other side of my string and I'm going to weave it into the 4 beads we just added, weaving on the side that the string is sticking out of. And we are going to pull. I'm going to add 3 gray beads down one side of my string. It does not matter. And I'm going to take the other side of my string. I'm going to weave it through the 3 beads we just added, weaving through the side that the string is sticking out of. And pull. All right, we got the main body of our rat done. Now we just need to do the tail. For me, I like my tail to be 6 beads long just because I think it's really cute. For this one, I only did 4. So it doesn't matter how many tail bead lengths you want to do. For me, I'm going to be showing you how to do 6. I'm going to take one side of my string and place 1 pink bead on. I'm going to take the other side of my string and weave it through that pink bead we just added, weaving through the side where the string is sticking out of, and I'm going to pull. I'm going to repeat this step 5 more times, placing on a pink bead through one side of the string, taking the other side of the string and weaving it through the opposite side and pull, taking another pink bead, placing it down one side of the string, taking my other string, weaving it through the other side and pull, taking 1 pink bead, placing it on one side of my string, taking my other string, weaving it through and pull, taking 1 pink bead, placing it on the string, taking the other side and weaving it through. And finally taking 1 pink bead, placing it on the string, taking the other side of the string and pulling it through and pull. And that, my friends, is how we make a tiny little rat. But now we need to tie it off. I'm gonna take one side of my string, it doesn't matter, and I am going to weave it through this little loop right here. So do you see this little loop of string? We're gonna take this string and we're gonna weave it through. And now this will create a loop on this side. I'm gonna take this tail and I'm gonna pull it through that loop and it should tie it off. Now I'm gonna take the other side of my string and I'm gonna weave it back through that pink bead, but I'm not gonna go all the way through. I'm gonna stop just like this, because if you pull this all the way through, it's gonna untie what we just did here. I am now going to meet the 2 tails together, and I'm just gonna crisscross them and tie them together just like tying a shoe, and that will anchor everything into place. And then now I'm just gonna take the 2 tails and I'm just gonna do this a few more times. Now that I've done this a few times, I'm gonna take my string, and I know we're gonna weave back through the pink bead. It doesn't matter which side, just one side, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna pull, and that's gonna slip the knot inside the bead here so it helps hide it. And then we're gonna take our scissors cut off these tails. And ta-da, your little guy's done. How adorable! These things are so cute. I am so obsessed. I knew as soon as I started making them, I was like, oh my god, I have to make a tutorial. Look at them! And they make such great keychains too. You can just attach a key ring right here and boom, little rat keychain. You can also attach them to candy singles too by just taking the string and going through here. Super, super cute. Look at him. Alrighty, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped anyone looking to learn how to make these cute little rat candy charms. I'm going to go ahead and put my email here on screen. So if you'd like, you can send me pictures of some of the things that you create using my tutorials, and I like to put them at the end of my videos. If you guys have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. Feedback really, really helps my channel grow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye!